What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well today. I just want to welcome you back to the next episode of the Primllife podcast. I have a person on who is probably one of the most motivational people I've ever met. Losing an amount of weight that I can't even comprehend and just really changed his life for the better. And I think his story will truly help you achieve your goals and maybe help you get motivated a little bit and just see what you can do to make the change that you want to in your life. But I'll let Eppy introduce himself. How's it going, man?
I'm doing pretty good, my man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, you know, like you're saying, the transformation. First of all, it took a little bit of time. Once you first start on a transformation, or even just getting into fitness, it's obviously a tough thing. It's an uncomfortable thing because you're doing things with your body that you're not used to doing. But you got to be consistent with it. Stay with it. It's going to feel weird. You're going to look weird. You're going to make weird noises. It's all a part of it. That was like one of the big things is that, yeah, people are going to be judgmental, but people are judgmental regardless of anything to any situation in any context. So I mean, like, dude, just do you, do what's best for you. And by doing what's best for you, might not necessarily be the same workouts as other people. Kind of just got to go through like trial and error. See what reacts with your body the best. Same thing with foods. And nutrition's a massive part of the transformation. Beforehand. So to kind of give a timeline of where I started at, I started lifting, I believe it was after high school. I think it was in 2017, September of 2017. And when I started lifting, I weighed 325.
Holy crap.
And right now I'm sitting about like 230, probably to 240, which isn't really the greatest. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. I was going to the gym for like 3 weeks straight, strong, right before Corona hit, and then boom, so I just got derailed. Well, over the summer, I picked up another job. I was working 7 days a week, and this was just a very interesting summer for me. Personal stuff went on, and I had to put the gym to the side for a bit, and just kind of went through some things, like some experiences. Um, you know, do I regret it? Yeah, well, sort of, kind of. I mean, not necessarily, because then I guess I'm not here. I
Yeah.
guess there's always the theory that everything happens for a reason. There's a reason for everything, and nothing happens without a reason. There has to be a previous thing as to why something else happens, et cetera, et cetera. Um, but yeah, man. So 2017 September. Um, First thing I did was cut some stuff out of my diet, sodas, juices, anything that didn't have like natural sugar in it, or if it's coming from like a big name, like chain company, big name, like Coke and Pepsi and all that kind of shit. You're dying, you're dying for sure. Like, I used to get German foreign exchange students, and they were always tall and slender, very slim. And it's like over in Europe, like they were telling me over in Germany, you have to pay for seconds for like refills and all that kind of stuff. So there's no such thing as free refills. First of all, that's why their like obesity rates like so obsolete, compared to ours. And Mountain Dew's banned because there's a growth hormone there's a chemical in it that stunts your growth or some shit like that. Can I swear in here, by the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Um, but yeah, man, your diet's a big thing. You gotta play around in the kitchen, play with sugar and spice, everything nice, all that happy horse shit, man. Hot spice is nice. Hot sauce is gonna be your best friend.
Hot sauce is
Um,
amazing.
Hot sauce is gonna be your best friend, dude. I used to get this hot sauce from Woodman's called Nando's Peri Peri hot sauce, and they stopped selling it in Woodman's. Why, I have no idea. It was like hands down the best hot sauce I've ever tasted, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It made all my meals just like that much better.
You gotta
Um,
try there's this brand called Tennessee Sunshine.
Tennessee
It's
Sunshine.
a little bit expensive for what you're getting, but I could
Hmm.
eat that on any meal. Any
Right,
meat that I
literally,
have, I put it on there, and it adds so much flavor. Like, you don't have to have
exactly,
sugar or all these sauces that have hundreds of calories when they're all added up to enjoy
exactly.
your meal.
And that's the kind of thing with like our like culture slash nation is we're in like this. I call it like dipping epidemic.
Hmm.
We always want to dip stuff. We always want to dip our food in something,
Yeah.
and that's where all the extra additive calories, extra fat. You look like I've been constantly trying to find a sauce that's low carb or low fat that has some like sweetness to it. That way I can like cook my chicken or my steak or whatever in some hot sauce. That way it has just some kick already. But then I don't want it just to be burning my mouth the whole time. And so instead of like drinking like some almond milk or whatever, I rather like want to dip it into something and just add a whole new layer of flavor
Yeah.
to my meal that's going on.
Another thing that
Um,
people don't realize is that they read these nutrition labels and they see 20 calories, but like that 20 calories is like for literally like the smallest amount of sauce, like that even fills up a space,
right,
like a
exactly.
teaspoon. And then when you add it all up, you're
Right.
having like 15, 20 servings. That's like another 400,
Like
500
America
calories.
loves ranch. Americans love ranch. And ranch, bro, I think it's for 2 tablespoons. I want to say it's like 150 calories, like 110 calories,
Yeah.
15 grams of fat. I'm like, that's up to like almost like a quarter of your daily intake of fat if you're
Yeah.
like hardcore tracking your macros. And that's just in 2 tablespoons. And then if you really think of, you go out to eat, say you go to B Dubs, right? Everybody loves to go to B Dubs. You get some wings, you're dipping your honey barbecue, soaked up wings, fake wings, in some fattening ranch. And
Yeah.
you're literally just, yeah, it sounds gross because it is
It
gross.
is. Yeah, people
Feels
don't
good going down, but I mean, anything can feel good going down.
people don't truly realize the amount of energy and the amount of surplus of fats and carbs and energy
Yeah,
that they're taking in. And then they look at themselves in the mirror and go, huh, how did I get this way? When in reality, if they were to look at their diet and just kind of
yeah,
analyze what
bro.
they're eating and take out all the
Literally,
unnecessary things that they don't, all of the extra, the trail mixes, the peanut butters, the super high fat
right.
things that they think is healthy, the granola bars, they would drop
Well,
the weight
I
so
think it
quick.
starts off like with like what we're served at schools too,
Yeah.
and I think basic personal nutrition should be like damn near an essential fundamental class, like
Mm-hmm.
one of your basic elemental classes that you need to take in any form of learning, because when you know your body, you just know more. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It's like, going into my freshman year at Parker, I weighed like 225. So put that into context. Going into my freshman year, I weighed 225, which is already pretty crazy. And then after graduation, I'm 325. I gained 100 pounds throughout high school.
Yeah.
I gained 100 fucking pounds through high school. And it was because, we didn't like what, or since we would eat so much at lunch, and we would just rifle through, whatever we had on our lunch accounts. And then when we got old enough to go out to lunch, it was, Monday was, what was Monday? I think Monday was McDonald's. Tuesday was like Taco Bell or Jimmy John's. Wednesday was snack pack Wednesdays. Bro, back in high school for me, snack pack Wednesdays, 2 snack packs for $2 a pop. Stop it. Take my money. Take my money. Like, and that's just how it was. And that's how it was Monday through Friday. And it was like that on a constant basis. And, through high school, smoking weed and shit and pegging out and staying at home, playing video
Mhm.
games, no real motivation for anything.
Yeah.
And then, post high school, uh, reality kind of sets in and you see who's there for you, you see who's not there for you. Um, and it just makes you realize shit, man. That people that you even grew up with, um, and it's like, I know these people are literally like 10 minutes away from my house right now, and I
Yeah.
haven't talked to them in over 3 years, 4 years.
It's crazy. The friends that you're with for that small period of time, you think you're gonna be with them for the rest of your life, but
Oh, bro,
they only love you for who you are. And the second you change, you seek self improvement. You try to.
not even that, man. I mean, for me, I think it's different for everybody else. Personally, for me, it's like, I don't know. I personally don't ever see, never, not that I never saw. I never understood what I did. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Um, so I mean, at this point, it's like, whatever. I haven't talked to them in X amount of years. They haven't talked to me in X
Yeah.
amount of years. I know there's been times where like we've seen each other, like when everybody's home for college during the holidays, whatever, if we're out of the bars downtown, and you'll see someone or something of that nature. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, it's, I don't know. It's just weird.
I
It's
know what
just
you're
weird.
saying. Yeah. You make such a big lifestyle change, and then suddenly
Oh, bro,
either they just
absolutely.
ended off with you, or just like your friendship just suddenly it just isn't
Mhm.
compatible anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird.
it's very weird, man. Ultimately, dude, like what I found is that your family's going to be your best friends. Just keep your family close, man.
Exactly.
Family is the number one thing. And for me, like working at the club, like working with all the kids, those are my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all my best friends. And also I work for the city, so I do rec nights for the middle schools. And so like kids that I've had like 3 years ago that are now kind of more grown up and in middle school, they're coming in getting ready to pay for rec night. I'm the one who's taking their money and going in the gym and playing basketball with them.
Yeah.
So just worry about yourselves. Like Marshawn say, worry about your chicken, worry about your mentals. Um, you know,
I totally agree
you're,
with you.
you're your number one. You're going to be your number one supporter and your number one enemy. Nobody's going to do shit for you. They're going to try to help you out. They're going to give you the tools to success, but ultimately you got to fucking do it.
I totally agree with you.
That was like the mindset that I kind of had, when I was going through my whole transformation. It was, you wake up every day and I literally like tell myself that I'm the shit and it's about it, that
Yeah.
you got to go in with that mentality. And I mean, it was just as much of like, I just had a routine of, I would just go work out. And like, bro, I was so addicted to working out. Eventually, after a while, like when you start to see, like, as soon as I started seeing the slightest bit of changes in my body, start seeing the smallest vein, pop out or something like that.
You got
Like
momentum.
I still have like loose skin and all that kind of stuff. Because I mean, I lost 120 pounds in a year and a
Yeah.
half. I
That's
lost 120 in
ridiculous.
a year and a half, and that's all natural. No personal weight loss program, no personal nutrition program, no tracking macros. It was just a matter of just kind of taking like mental notes throughout the day.
Mhm.
What did I eat? What was in it? And also just do some self research, man.
Yeah.
Look up macros. As soon as you understand what macros are, it's honestly so easy. It's
Mm-hmm.
so easy.
Yeah.
Like, for anybody that doesn't know, you get your proteins, there's carbs, and there's fats. Now, there's good carbs and there's bad carbs. Your Doritos are your bad carbs. Your apple is a good carb. Your orange is a good carb. That chocolate bar is a bad carb.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Like,
Yeah.
I understand that it says carbohydrates. You need carbohydrates for energy, but make sure it's good carbohydrates.
Exactly. And you make sure that there's not a ton of sugar in there too. Like sugar,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
I've noticed like the difference in my energy levels throughout the day, like between not having sugar and having
Mm-hmm.
sugar, and you just get this. You first get a spike of energy when you have sugar, and you feel good,
Right.
and then suddenly you're just
And then
down. You
you
feel
have that
disgusting.
crash.
You
You're gonna have
feel
that
like
crash.
you've been hit by a truck and you can't do anymore. And
Dude,
then,
working with kids all day, kids just want candy. That's all they
Mhm.
want is candy. And then they get that sugar rush, and then it's time for them to go, and then they're crashing, and then all fucking hell breaks loose. And
Yeah,
I mean, I love it, but I hate it.
it's all about the clean energy, and that's
Right,
eating good
exactly.
carbs and good healthy fats and having a balance
Exactly.
too.
And I think, man, like, it's so hard to try to get into like a schedule right now because of just how weird shit is. You
Yeah.
know, like something that I know that really helped with my success and things was I had a routine. I had a life.
Hmm.
I had a life. I could go to places and spend time at those places, and I'd be doing stuff at those places. So it's like I'm not just sitting there looking at the TV. Am I hungry or am I bored? Am I hungry or am I bored? You know what I mean? So it's like I understand how people are probably feeling. You're just trapped at home. It's nothing to do, bro. I know. I get it. It sucks. I know. I'm with you. All right. I've been technically in quarantine for like 2 months already. My dad got directly exposed like over a month and a half ago,
Oh well.
and since I'm with like since we work with like in correlation with the school district, whenever the schools close, we close, and so as soon as the schools closed, we closed, and so I've been out of work for over 2 months already.
Me too. Yeah.
And
What I was doing before is I would fast to a certain point in the day, and fasting like it has its benefits. But for me,
mhm,
like when you're making a conscious effort not to snack, you can get
mhm.
all your good, solid, healthy calories in later in the day, and you'll be filled up then. And fasting for me, I feel a lot better. Like when I start eating, it just really like starts off like a process, and
You
like
start usually eating at like what, like 11?
what I've been doing is actually in the afternoon, like at 3 or 4. Some days that's what I do during school. Is I would like skip I wouldn't eat breakfast. I wouldn't then I'd eat like a super late lunch. I had a really great schedule. I was only in school for like 4 hours of the day, and I did
Hmm.
college in the evening. But I'd wait
Sure.
until later in the day, and then I'd just eat all the good salad stuff, all the rices, the chicken.
Right.
No, none of that snacking stuff that really just
Hmm.
loads people up with unnecessary calories and unnecessary carbs and fats.
Right. And a lot of those unnecessary calories and all that kind of shit are going to be coming from the snacks that have like where a good majority of the calories are coming from fat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's something else that I've always noticed. Um, and another thing, if you don't like, counting your macros, um, I know that there's apps out there that can help with that. And the main macros that you really only got to that I ever really like took count for were my proteins, fats, carbs, sugar, and fiber. That's
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really too worried about sodium or anything of that nature. I know
Yeah.
I always see how people, I put a pinch of pink Himalayan salt in my pre-workout, or it gives me the most ridiculous pump ever, bro. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. But I mean, I just worry about those, and I've actually recently the app that I use, it's called My Macros Plus. I absolutely love it. I think it's phenomenal. It's what I started using. It's what I've been using, and you can even it'll save all of your meals. So I've been looking at my meals from like a year back
Mm-hmm.
as to what I was eating back then, and looking at the macros and all that kind of shit. Looking at what my proteins were, what my carbs were, what my fats were. It's because sometimes you forget, you
Yeah.
know. And it's kind of like riding a bike. You just got to look at it again, go through the motions again, and hopefully you'll get right back into it. And I also got a portable sauna the other day,
That's
which is
sweet.
actually absolutely fucking phenomenal. You can get them on Amazon for 150, 10 out of 10. Totally recommend.
I have to look into that. I've always wanted to like. I
A
love the
little
sauna at the
personal steam
club.
sauna, bro. It's a
Yeah.
little personal steam sauna. It gets up to like 130, 140. It's crazy. It's awesome. It
That's
comes with a
sweet.
personal like little mini chair. It's insane. It's insane.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to check that out. I didn't even know they existed where you could buy them for that low. Holy
Absolutely,
crap.
dude. Yeah, I've been because I mean that was like what the routine was to go to the gym, go do the sauna, and then I'd usually do cardio, and then I'd do weights, and then I'd probably do sauna again, maybe play some basketball, and then that was just like because then you could just waste so much time
Yeah.
at like a good place where you're not going to be eating stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like not having the gym open right now, man. It's a bummer. It's an absolute bummer.
I actually emailed the athletic club and I borrowed a weight bench and some 80s. Got
Really?
55, and then I have like my own setup. I have a pair of rings in my garage and like a bunch of other
They
exercise.
let you borrow stuff?
Yeah, I just checked it out. I
Really?
walked out with it. I didn't have to put a deposit down. I just wrote down what I took, and yeah, dude, you
Yeah,
need to look into that.
yeah,
Get your,
holy shit. Because I mean, like downstairs, I have a 45-pound bar. I got two 45-pound plates, 35s, 25s,
that's nice.
10s, 5s. And then I have dumbbells going from like 2.5 to 40, I think. Um, and then I got a resistance band, three of like they were like really, really thin. They're almost kind of like ribbon like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I got three of those. Um, and I had two other bands. uh, and I was using those, but then they broke. So,
Okay.
oops.
Yeah. Hey.
But other than that, I'm just trying to. like I'm trying to find alternative ways to do like leg press or some shit like that
Leg
because I'm like,
exercises are hard to like replicate
bro, 'cause
that.
I'm like,
Like
I don't want to fucking do dumbbell squats.
they're not
Fuck.
fun.
And bro, I did them and they suck.
Yeah. I was designing my leg workout for I'm supposed to do today last night. I was just like a lot of lunges. Lunges are for me are like one of the most painful exercises because it's cardio
Yes.
and it's like the most strenuous on
Yeah,
just your full
it's just in a
legs.
weird spot because you don't often or you don't use those muscles often, I guess I
Yeah.
should say.
And then I was going to supposed to do dumbbell box squats and I'm just like oh and then jump squats and then have you ever tried Bulgarian split squats?
I've heard about them. I haven't done them.
They're brutal for hamstrings and glutes. Those are one of
Yeah.
the best ones I recommend for legs. Yeah,
You got
it's
any good lower back exercises?
um Romanian deadlifts for me always kind of hit my lower back a little bit. You know, they're mainly like your hamstrings, but I always felt a little
Right.
bit of activation, just like, especially like locking it out at the top.
Hmm.
Um, I think like when you get your rest of your back training down, when you do a lot of pull ups, when you do rows, your lower back gets hit regardless, even if you can't do deadlifts. I
Hmm.
miss heavy deadlifts so much.
Bro, you know what I miss? I miss fucking lat pull downs. That's
Me
what I
too.
miss.
Yeah,
Oh
having a
my
cable
god,
machine,
I miss
there's so much
that
stuff you can
chest
do.
flies. Holy shit, dude! My dad ordered the like little door stopper thing or
Hmm.
whatever band set that like a million companies have all of a sudden just produced out of nowhere. Uh, and I need so like for my lat pull down machine that I have is my resistance band like double banded,
Yeah.
and I have a little like carabiner clip thing uh, up on like this pole,
Hmm.
and I put the resistance band through it like double sided, so it's like thicker or whatever,
Yeah.
more resistance. Then I have for my bar, I use the extendo arm paint roller thing,
That's
and I
funny.
just feed that through, and I just do like 15 to 25 reps of just like super contracted, just super slow.
Slowing it down, yeah, making it as hard as
Ah,
you can with what you
bro.
have.
Yeah, and it's like it'll feel like easier and easier, and then I'm like, I don't want to keep moving back though because I'm gonna fucking break this band.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is where like the weight comes into play. This is to what I need.
Yeah.
I need that pulley system.
I've been doing something similar where I have like a regular band and then I have one that has handles on it and I wrap it around a pole in my basement and then what I do is I
Mm-hmm.
put a towel through it so I have something to
There
hold
you
on
go.
to and then I
There you
just
go.
make sure I'm contracting as hard as I can, slowing it down,
Mm,
sometimes doing like one sided stuff at a time, just making
for
it as hard
sure.
as I can. But I miss that feeling. I miss heavy benching, heavy deadlifts, overhead press.
I miss my treadmills. I miss my treadmills
I
so
don't miss
much.
treadmills. I never did.
I
I
miss
never did
treadmills.
cardio.
I miss treadmills so much. You're lucky. You're lucky you have good genetics then, buddy boy.
I just
Because
got something to
I
die
got
for
fat
me.
boy genetics. And bro, if I have one sweet, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like quarantine's fucking sucked because my mom's got a major sweet tooth. My dad's down in South Carolina right now, so it's just me and her at the house. And
Yeah.
she goes to get something, I'm getting something.
Yeah, my family's pretty good about that stuff. My mom, I used to like regret it a lot, but she was like the most like ultra healthy lady. Like there was no like
I
processed
wish my
cereals.
parents would, man.
Like this most sweetest thing we got, the sweetest thing we got was granola bars, and that was like our one snack for school or whatever. And like
Mm-hmm.
we always packed homemade lunches, like sandwiches and stuff like that. And so I had a pretty good
Yeah.
base for like nutrition, and it really helped me a lot. Like looking at all my classmates who are now like gaining the weight after
Right.
like their exercise went down. It's just like thank God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It was. I can't wait to get back in the swing of things. I think just finding alternative ways to do stuff. Um, you just got to kind of get back into a rhythm. It's kind of like it's like having a schedule. It's kind of like having your schedule just get ripped out of your hands. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
On this whole quarantine thing. So I mean, if I have any advice to give to people, I guess just take some deep breaths, man. Take some deep breaths. Uh, try to clear your head. Do some deep breathing exercises or something. Do some sort of meditation.
Yeah.
Go on a nature walk. Get outside. Breathe. You can still go outside, people. Okay,
Yeah.
still go outside. Okay, just be cautious. Be smart. Okay,
Hmm.
think smarter, not harder. All right. I mean, just, just be fucking smart. Don't be dumbasses. All right.
That's
Like,
some some pretty solid advice right there. What I've been telling
Like,
people is use it as like a time to like work on yourself. Like if you had
yeah,
something you wanted to do that you didn't have the time to do before, now you have the time.
exactly,
Like use it.
exactly.
Come out a better and stronger person.
Yeah,
Use this time
exactly,
to get ahead of your competition, to practice, learn a new skill, to read a book, to get some knowledge that will benefit you for the rest of your life. To pick up exercising if
exactly,
you didn't before. You can do bodyweight exercises, you can do push-ups. There's a ton of
exactly. That's
you might
another thing I need to get into is those body weight exercises because I was doing like 100 push-ups a day. That was like one of the first things that I would do was 100 push-ups, and now like I can just see where so much of my strength has been lost, and I can see where spots are filling in and all this, that, and the third and whatnot. But the lowest I got down to was like 185 from 325.
bang.
It took me about 2.5 years. Um, and that wasn't strict dieting. I'd say the last like 3 months, 3 or 4 months were strict dieting, tracking macros, and my meals. I remember pretty vividly would consist of like a cup to 2 cups of broccoli, um, about 3/4 pound of chicken breast, and like 4 egg whites and an egg,
Yeah.
and those are just kind of my meals. I do that, and then I just do like a big protein shake. Like
Hmm.
1 to 2 scoops of protein, like half cup of oats. Just because I personally felt with my body and like my genetics that the way that my body like process carbs and all that kind of stuff, that if I had really high carb intake, and by what I mean by high carb intake, I mean like 170 plus grams of carbs,
Hmm.
which really isn't that high.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how my body was. And there was like a point in time where like the leanest that I was at was when my macros were like 200 to 225 protein. I think it was like 50 to 125 carb, and then like 60 fat, something like that.
Yeah. You
It
need the
was it was
gnarly
it,
shoulder veins.
Bro, dude, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I miss it. And at the same time, now when I look back, I miss looking like that for sure. I remember vividly what all comes with looking like that and trying to get to looking like that. Um, by no means am I saying was I fucking Mr. Olympia or anything like that, but I looked like two completely different people.
Yeah. No,
Um,
totally.
you know,
Yeah.
going from 325 to 185. Um, and then hearing now that I'm back up to like 230, 240, you know, you can put it back on just like that, man.
Yeah.
Just like that. Um, so some exercise is better than no exercise. I'm trying to think of what else to be motivational and positive.
Was there a moment? I was gonna ask you this earlier, but was there a moment when you just kind of like broke and you looked at yourself in the mirror and you went like, "I have to change this." Like you
Oh yeah,
realized like you knew that it was this or nothing.
yeah. I had a relationship for the first time like 4 years ago. Um, and I started going to the gym for her, and then she broke up with me, so I just kept going, and then I started seeing a little bit of difference in me, and I just kept on going. And all of a sudden, I picked up a challenge of working out for a year straight without rest days, and I was able to complete that challenge. I went out to Cali with my mom to go visit my brother for like a week and a half, and I was able to work out every day that I was out there. I got a chance to go meet Bradley Martin in Zoo Culture. If you guys want to go look at the anniversary video, I think it's like 6 minutes and like 18 seconds in or something like that.
I'll have to look at.
Check
I
out your
seen that
boy.
video. I didn't know you were
Um,
in it. That's sweet. That's awesome.
yeah, it was dope, man. I was, we didn't go out there knowing that this was going to be able to be an opportunity. But he posted on his Insta story that it was the 1 year anniversary. Anybody could come from like 11 to 3, and got to talk with them, hang out with them, eat tacos, eat donuts, play with the
That's
dogs.
awesome.
It's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
That's really cool, man. That's oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
losing that much weight, people don't realize like how crazy it is.
And, when I was going through it for the longest time, because I mean, for the first 19 years of my life, I was always fat. So that's all like that. It's like the
Yeah.
only way that I knew how to feel. And so like when I was in that like new body, it was
Almost like
weird.
a
It
new
was
you.
it was a weird feeling. Um, yeah, and it was like hard to kind of get used to. Um, and so I think I kind of contribute a little bit of that to you know packing on the weight again. After working 7 days a week, and then it's like all of a sudden, do I want to go get the sleep that I know that I need, and then that way I can wake up early and
Yeah.
go to the gym, or do I want to go enjoy my summer? And I
Yeah.
just enjoyed my summer. you know, um, in hindsight, you know, I wish I could have made some better choices. Obviously, for sure. Um, I regret some choices I don't regret.
Exactly.
Live and learn. Look at the glass half full, not half empty.
Exactly.
It could always be worse. It could
Yeah.
always,
What I
always be
try not to
worse.
regret anything, because in the end, even if I failed, all that matters is that I picked myself back up and that I learned something, that I benefited even a little bit moving on from that. Even like the worst, I don't regret the worst moments of my life, because I knew that in the long term I'll be a better person from it, that they taught me the lessons that I need to be a
hmm
successful person, just a happy person too.
It's incredibly cliche, but
It
it's
is, yeah.
it's incredibly true. You know, and people can always talk about how shit's corny and whatnot, and this, that, and the third, and whatever, man. Whatever helps you sleep at night, buddy. But it's like, know,
Exactly.
let people talk. People are always going to talk. Um, but just always strive to be. Don't be like other people. Be yourself. Be the best version of yourself. So there's
Hmm.
nobody else like you. That's what makes it so
Yeah,
sweet.
and
Also
when they do start
unique.
talking crap, the
Um,
reason why they're hating on you is because they wish they could
you're
be
doing
like you.
something
They
right.
they see you're making the change, and they're scared
Exactly.
to make that change. They don't know how, and they're gonna try to bring you down. But you just gotta push through it,
hmm
and like really,
Yeah, I mean, like when I was losing the weight and when I was making a pretty big impact, um, right away, there was people from high school that were literally saying to me, "Bro, if you can fucking do it, I know damn well that I can do it. What the fuck?"
yeah,
And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, exactly. Yeah, I'm not doing this to be a fucking
yeah,
asshole, you fucking asshole." But you know,
yeah. That's I totally agree with everything that was just said. In it, you lost a lot of weight through nutrition, through exercise. Did you take any supplements, or was it just
uh, not necessarily. I mean, took oxy shred.
is that like a
That's about
thermal?
it.
I'm trying to think.
Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, thermogenic fat burner. Just taking that. Like I said, you got to be disciplined with this stuff, consistent. Um, I've been trying to do it again lately, but I'm not being consistent
hmm
with it, so I'm not seeing results. Um, that's kind of the same thing with my working out. I haven't really been consistent with it, so I haven't really been seeing results, and that's the ultimate thing. You know, I wish the gyms just could fucking be open. I so wish, because it would make half of these problems that we have right now. It would
yeah.
literally make like half of them go away. It's
It's it's
it's
unfortunate.
rough. It's really, really rough. And then I'm sure when they do reopen them, it's going to be guidelines and limitations and this, that, and the third and
Yeah.
whatnot. So
What? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, just try to
Hmm.
just do what you can. Make the most of what you got.
Yeah.
Um, think outside the box. Uh,
I'm using this
Trying to
as a.
think of
I'll
what
let you catch your
else.
train of thought, but I'm using this time. I've always wanted to wake up early and go on runs and just do cardio. I just think it's like a really badass solid thing to do, and just like really get your day off on a good note. When you start your
hmm
day off by hitting the gym and then like doing school or whatever, it's reassures you that you're doing something right and kind of puts you in that mindset of this is who I am, excellence in everything that I do. I'm
hmm
gonna attribute the same work ethic that I do to lifting, that I do to my school work, to my work life, and that it
hmm
really pushes you further. But
Right.
I'm my sleep schedule was so messed up for a while, and finally it's kind of getting back to normal. But I would stay up to 4 or 5, and then I'd sleep till 1 or 2.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't do that, man. I don't know if it's just like, I mean, I'm only fucking 23, but my body feels way older. So I mean, like I'm waking up at like 7:30 every morning during quarantine. It's just like my internal
That's
clock's
nice.
just set
Yeah.
for that time. And instantly you wake up, you go take a shit,
That's
and you turn on the
that
sauna.
sauna must be
You know,
nice in the morning. Just get you moving.
bro, dude, it's gonna come in so clutch. I'm so geeked for it because it's gonna be part of my routine now. Wake up, go use the facilities, and
Yeah.
then sauna for like
I
20,
I have a
25
whiteboard on
minutes.
my
So
TV,
nice.
and the first thing it says is I weigh in, then I pound 2 glasses of water, then I might go on a walk,
There you
or
go.
I don't really run anymore. I need to start running. I go on a walk, and then yeah.
Same, dude. I've been going on walks because like the thing that I did for my
It's
cardio
incline
was
walking
incline
is
walking.
good.
I set it to the max incline. Bro, incline walking, like after a while, like for a little bit, I loved running, and I would always catch the runner's high, and I just felt like incredible because I was like, man, I was never able to fucking do this before. Now I can do this all the goddamn time. I feel incredible.
Yeah.
I feel unstoppable. Yada 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 yada. Yada. And then I discovered the
It's
incline
nice.
walking.
It's so satisfying.
Wow, bro, I can burn the same amount of calories with doing like half the fucking work.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you're shitting me, and I get to watch
So it's a
Netflix while doing
win-win.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, incline walking is great.
Exactly.
Hill sprints are brutal, but what I would do is for my cardio, and what I used to do, well, I never was a really big runner. I was a swimmer, and that's when I lost the majority of the weight, that like the actual excess fat. That's when I got like shredded.
Mm-hmm.
But
Swimming's
what I
best
would do
cardio
is I would do
program.
bike sprints where I'd sprint as hard as I can for like 15 to 20 seconds on a bike. Then I'd rest a minute, and then I'd repeat that like 12 to 15 times. And by the end, your legs are dead, your heart is just pounding, and you're burning so much calories by doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit.
You're right,
Well, awesome.
for sure.
If you had, just to kind of finish it off, if you had one piece of advice for somebody
Mhm.
who wants to get in fitness but doesn't know how, doesn't know where to start, what would it be?
Someone who wants to get into fitness
Yeah.
doesn't know how to start. Um, man, honestly, go on either because
Yeah.
I mean gyms aren't going to be open for a while. We know that. Go on YouTube, look up. I really like Joe Linder. He's a German like calisthenics guy or whatever. He has great videos. And honestly, it's not even really about too much about working out. Like, yeah, that obviously is going to be a part of it. But look at your daily diet. Look at what you're taking in to your body, because what you put is what you put out,
Yep.
or what you put in is what you get out. It's that simple. Look at what you're eating. Look at what you're listening to, as in music. Look at what you're watching on the TV. Look at who your friends are. Even family, man. It's because your blood doesn't fucking define family. I don't believe that shit. Um, you know, every aspect. Look at every aspect of your life. If it's not benefiting you, you should get rid of it. It if it's a person, even if it's a person that you thought, oh, they don't mean to do that. They just probably got some stuff going on. No,
Yeah.
they don't have stuff going on. They just don't give two fucks about you. And sorry if you got to hear that way, but it's like, I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you want to be the best version of yourself, you got to be real with yourself, and that's probably the hardest thing to do. You can be real with anybody else. You can tell anybody to do anything, but to tell yourself to do something and to actually do it and to stick with it and to not back out and not to pussy out on it,
I totally agree with you.
then
Oh
that's
my
something.
gosh, dude, that almost gave me shivers. That's so true. Like really just grinding your life down to like the basics.
Yeah, man.
Evaluating.
Oh, literally, if it's not
Cut it
benefiting you, oh, that sounds selfish.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's your life.
Exactly.
You should be selfish about your life. You know, I mean, at the same time, have a big heart and help people in every way that you can. But at the same time, you know, don't let people take advantage of you. Don't let people walk over you. Don't let people try to, you know, mute your voice. Don't let try to people further put out an image, an
Yep.
incorrect image of you. You know, and at the same time, only control what you can control. You know, if you can't fix it in 5 seconds,
Yep.
it's not going to matter in 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, it you just gotta
Surround
do what's
yourself with the
best for
people you want to
yourself,
become, you
man.
want to be like. Surround yourselves with people who are positive, and if they're not,
I wouldn't even do that,
okay.
man. I wouldn't even do that. Me personally, what I did,
Hey.
I just stayed to myself. I literally just stayed to myself, and I didn't talk to people. I only talked to like a
Mhm.
select few people, and you know,
Yeah,
I
that
just
too.
worked on me every day. It was about me every single day, and you know, yeah, I missed out on parties. Yeah, I lost some friends. Yeah, I missed out on some opportunities,
Yeah.
but it was worth it. It was worth it in every way. In every way. Because then when, especially when your teachers from 2 years ago see you and, you know, you're talking with them at the bar and they don't even
Yep.
realize that it's you. And they ask, oh, what high school did you go to? Oh, yeah, you were my math teacher. You know, and then you're
Yeah.
just absolutely dumbfounded. You know, if you want to have that type of effect on people, worry about yourself, work on yourself, become your number one supporter, overcome your own mind. Your mind's your number one obstacle. Overcome your own
I
mind, your own
totally agree. Oh
doubts,
my god,
anything
dude, that
else.
was amazing. So, everyone, if you listen to what he's saying, this is how you lose the weight. This is the
I
path to
wouldn't steer you wrong.
success. If you if you want to make a
I wouldn't steer
radical
you wrong.
transformation like he did, you got to do what he's saying. It's the path. It's the way.
For just three easy payments of 19. No, I'm not just kidding. I'm just
Eppy,
kidding.
www.buyeppy.com, right? That's hilarious, dude. Well, where can they find you on social media?
um, Twitter is at, I think it's the Epster, I believe. At
Okay.
TheEppster. Follow me on Insta at Drew Eppiheimer,
Okay, I'll
DrewiPhim
link it
as in
down below in the
mouse
description.
ER. Um,
Yeah.
for sure, man. And also, I just have a message to everyone. You know, during these times, you know, for me as a child care worker, you know, our kids are missing out on education right now. So if you have any time in your day, if you're not an essential worker, but you have all the fucking time in the world, read them a book, do some math facts, you know, look stuff up on Google, spend some time with a little one, um, and just try to get them to smile, try to get them to giggle, um,
Yeah.
shine some light on them.
Hell yeah. Yeah, of
It makes you feel
course.
good too.
Everyone will make sure you go follow him, listen to what he said, dude. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. That was crazy. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks for having me, man.
Awesome. Solid.
I wasn't sure how this was gonna
I'd
go,
say,
but
dude,
hey,
that was a
it went pretty good.
success. Oh my gosh. Well, everyone, thank you for watching. Make sure you go follow him. Look at his information is gonna be down below, and thanks everyone for watching. Peace.